Good evening, race fans, and welcome once again to GridVision. We are bringing you the High Slide Thursday Night Truck League playoffs, and I am Joe Castro, joined in the booth by Sheldon Atkins, and in the other booth by Austin Derbyshire. Sheldon, how you doing tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Ready to watch some great racing here from Kansas Speedway. How you hanging in?
I'm hanging in there. Kansas Speedway looks like it's going to be a pretty good time. I love a Speedway racing. And so we got a little bit of everything tonight, I think, coming in from Kansas. This is part of the playoffs, so it's going to be exciting no matter any way you slice it.
Yeah, this is a really cool track too to have in the playoffs too. Getting close to the cutoff rounds. Man, variable banking, lots of different places you can run here. Pretty much any line you stick it in will work for you if you know how to fire it off. And you're going to see a lot of action here tonight.
All right. We've got a couple of things to go through before the race starts. As usual, let's take a look at what we're going to start with here. I think it's your keys for the race. Why don't you take it away?
All right. Let's get them up here on the screen because I have no short-term memory today. Final lane that works, man. Look, this place, variable banking. You can stick it up against the fence and be fast. You can stick it down to the bottom. Different points in the run, different parts of the track are going to come in. So figure out what works best for you, because a lot of guys will come out here and they swear by the bottom, and they're fast down there, but somebody else won't be able to find that same pace down there. So just figure out where you want to put the truck, where the truck wants to go. You got to keep that right rear tire under you too, because this is one of those tracks where you really spend a lot of time in that throttle, and it will come around on you really quick if you just chew on it too much. And to finish it up, man, all the grip you got on this track, it's pretty hard to get by people, especially with the top line being as dominant as it can be on the end of a long run. You want to be aggressive, and as aggressive as you possibly can get, especially at the start of the run. So if you got a possibility for a position, launch a slider down into the corner and try and make it work. Slide job.
Slide. And let's go with tonight's picks. I am going to pick the man at the top of the food chain, so to speak, right now, Joseph Causey.
I'm going to have to go with, the perpetual bridesmaid in the series this season. I got to go with Jordan Probst. I feel like tonight he's going to get it done. He said he felt good about the speedways in this truck. So we'll see where he goes.
We got a double pick on Probst tonight, too. Look, Derbyshire up there. He's got the 91 also. So the two of you against the pick of me. Let's see if that old GridVision luck holds out and our racers make it to the end of the race. Let's take a look at the schedule, though, going ahead. We've got some fun stuff lined up for you, as usual, folks. Monday, Watkins Glen with the Ryko Performance Monday Night Top Split. Taking a little break until Thursday. Kansas Speedway. That's today, actually, isn't it? That's today. And then Friday, this upcoming Friday, tomorrow, we have Watkins Glen yet again with the Ryko Performance Top Split Friday night.
I'm so excited for Friday night after what we saw Monday night with Top Split. One heck of a battle between Conklin and Maines. I'm looking forward to it being twice as unhinged tomorrow night.
I heard about it, and I didn't get a chance to watch, but I did hear about it, and I'm excited I might get a chance to tune in tomorrow. But you guys have been having a great time calling that series, and GridVision's been bringing it to you live every week, folks. So be sure to get out there and tell your friends, make a little watch party, and let us know how you've been enjoying the GridVision broadcast so far. Let's go to the grid. Number one in the grid to start things off. At the top, it's actually Jordan Probst in the pole position. Number two, Joseph Causey. Third spot on the grid, Jacob Denson. Fourth, it's Scott Feltz. Fifth place, we've got Derek Grigsby. Sixth place, Jordan Berry. Seventh, it's going to be Charlie Harcum with Levi McCarty on the outside there. And ninth, we've got Jason Miz. And 10th, Andrew Chapman.
11th place, we got who I believe is a newcomer, 37 Machine Aaron K, followed by Joshua Lucas in 12th. 13th is going to be Anthony McPherson, and then rounding out your field without a qualifying time, and 14th is going to be Rob Evans.
All right. Got that great GridVision chopper cam view of Kansas Speedway. The sun looks like it's going down. We've got 135 laps coming up, folks, across a couple of stages here, and we're looking forward to bringing it all to you. Looks like the trucks are just about getting ready to leave pit road here. We've got one to green. And with our picks, let's see. Our picks are in the 1 and 2 spot right now.
Yeah,
let's see how long they can hold that.
Not too shocking, though. Both of those guys have been fast all year since they dropped the flag at the beginning of the season. And I mean, Probst versus Causey, since Ed Shearer Jr. hasn't really been around the past few weeks, I'm wondering if that's what the storyline's going to be as we go into the later rounds of these playoffs.
You know, I've noticed that too. We haven't seen Shearer Jr. and with Causey dominating the tops of the numbers, the playoffs are going to really depend on who can stick around and just keep grinding out some of these numbers, especially the guys at the top who are just below Joseph Causey, like you were mentioning.
It's definitely been a exciting championship season. A lot of shakeups.
It has been. We've had people popping up and below the line a little bit here and there. As we get ready to race now, the lights are off on the pace truck. He's out the way. Everybody's ankles twitching a little bit as we get ready to go green here at Kansas Speedway. And we are green on GridVision here at Kansas as the trucks cross the line and get things started into lap 1. First things first, great launch from Joseph Causey. He pushes himself out to the front a little bit, but the 91 is holding on the inside as everybody is still too wide, sorting things out. The 11 falling back a little bit. That's Scott Feltz on the outside. He's trying to find a spot for himself as we're still in that perfect 2-wide column going down the backstretch.
Now we got big problems right now. Out of your pole sitter, race leader at the moment, Jordan Probst got a black flag, launched a little bit too early on the start. Not sure if they're going to clear it or if it's going to have to stay, but that could be a huge detriment for him to crawl out of in this race this evening.
Yeah, that's going to put him back in a race with only 14 trucks where we're going to have a lot of nice, clean racing. I'm hopefully assuming that could potentially put him back just far enough that he's going to have to wait for a yellow or something to try to play some catch-up. He's going to be a whole lap down. That's going to be a whole lap to make up. Let's see if we can see that jump here a little bit. We're going to replay on it.
Okay, here comes Probst right now. Oh, Probst gets turned on the bottom, trying to slow up to get a pit road. He's got dumped. Huge crash. 3 trucks involved.
Wow. All right. We're not even through 2 laps here, folks. The yellow is out. We've got some folks going down pit road, and we're going to get ready to show you the action that we were we were not having the cameras on there for a second as we were trying to analyze other action going on. Ooh, there it goes.
Yeah,
that's the 11 again.
The 11 machine of Feltz just got right into Probst. I guess. I don't know what happened there. He was just up there on the outside. Probst kind of trying to slow down to get ready for pit road, and the 11 comes down. That miscommunication there between the 91 and the 11, and handful of trucks just absolutely destroyed on that. Grigsby got in it as well, and McPherson. Scott Feltz is down. Probst is down. Yeah, and that is huge damage on that 91 machine. I doubt there's going to be any way he can come back from that because it looks like he's probably knocked the toe out on it.
Well, we shouldn't have said anything about Probst having to deal with bad luck because it looks like the karma wheel spun and caught him right up in it immediately.
That's such a shame because he was so fast in practice and qualifying.
Absolutely. We'll get a look down here. Joseph Causey able to stay out of that, now leading with Jordan Berry in his second place rear window there. It looks like a penalty has been levied on the 11. He's going to have to be back at the end of the line when he comes back out. I'm not sure how much damage he ended up taking there, but we're going to find out here in a second. Got a few other people going into the pits now, too. Andrew Chapman, Charlie Harcum taking advantage of a pit here. Wonder if, I don't remember them taking, they must have taken some damage also during the events of that wreck. It must have involved a few more people than we saw.
Yeah, there's about 4 trucks that got caught up in that. You're going to have a couple guys possibly coming down and trying to put a little bit of fuel in it to stretch the length on that tank.
Yeah, we have 6 out of 14 cars right now in the race are in the pits right now.
It's a rough way to start this one off.
An ill omen, but one that we can bounce back from with the power of positive thinking. Right? That's all it takes, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Things that we can control.
What we're going with.
Well, we're going around again. I think it's going to be another 2 to green. I'm going to briefly mention the sponsor of the High Slide Racing League playoffs. That's Haproon Design. The Haproon Design, HaproonDesign.com. That is the sponsor for the playoff series here. I'm going to do a little bit more talking about them as the race goes on, but if you're curious right now and you've got a browser window open, HaproonDesign.com.
I will say somebody that this right here is going to affect positively, potentially. Second place machine, Jordan Berry, that 18 truck. He's in a must-win scenario right now to get through the next round of the playoffs. If he can get up there and keep the fight and get the job done against Causey, now it's a tall task. But that right there could put him into a perfect position to make his way and advance through the playoffs and move into the final round coming up.
Yeah, I see that here. Jordan Berry is he's 12th place right now in the standings for the championship. So he's got some room to grow. He's got some room to move up. And a win here today would really cement that. I think he would take the 11th place slot if he was to win here today.
If he wins here today, he gets locked into the next round, I do believe.
Yeah, excellent.
So he would be taking Denson's spot. Or sure, I don't know how the point shakeup's going to be.
Alrighty. We're back now here. Going around. Let's see if we can get eyes on the front, because it looks like the lights are off and they're coming around, getting ready to get restarted here. Pace cars in. Everybody's raring to go. A few people are back out on the track now, and it's green on GridVision yet again here at Kansas. Trying on lap 6 for size out of 135.
Joseph Causey getting a really good launch, good advantage coming down turn 1. Jordan Berry behind him, single file with a handful of guys behind them side by side.
There's a few more side-by-sides back there. Everyone's still getting sorted out, but it looks like they're going to get sorted out pretty quick here, a lot faster with a few less people on the track fighting for first and second place as we were. Probst is back on the track. He's in 11th place, but up here at the front, we have a little line going of Causey, Berry, and Denson. Looking for that two-wide situation, though, in the back. Who's that? That's the... Let's take a little look here. That's Josh Lucas. And then down on the inside, Josh Lucas here, down on the inside in the 32 with Levi McCarty. He's going to slide in right behind McCarty. Hold that position, the 25 now on the inside. And you were mentioning that, you got to really play aggressively here. So we're going to be probably seeing people try to hold lines a little bit and maybe a little more blocking than we're used to seeing. I see people diving down across the transition also for favorable position.
Yeah, anything that gets you that advantage, especially over the guy on the outside. You're going to see a lot of people being aggressive, too, with their pension coming off the corners. Because you really want to slow the momentum of that car on your bottom. If they're trying to pass you down low, you want to slow that momentum any way possible. So you want to pull that little bit of side draft. You want to kind of take away their line so they can't really get the advantage on you. It's really huge here at Kansas, because this is such a momentum track on the straightaways. Absolutely.
A minute ago, we just saw Jason Miz jockeying, looking for a little bit of position. He was able to find one now. He's back down, diving down to the inside line, holding his line. A little bit on the outside of him, though. That's Jacob Denson. Ooh, the three of them very tight now. As we go down the back stretch, Denson managing to hold down. He's only down one position to fourth position from where he started. McCarty, on the other hand, ahead of him, is up 5 places. So he's got a nice jump from that restart.
And McCarty adopted that outside line 2 inches off the fence really early in this run. And has been using that momentum to kind of cross himself over and get to the bottom of other guys to make passes in 3 and 4. Doing really good up here. You see him right now getting in the wake of the leader down the back straightaway. Almost took the spot, almost took the quarter on Berry as Berry dives down to the bottom of Causey here into turn 3.
Causey's holding that line, that center line, as best he can. Berry really driving aggressively, trying to use whatever speed he can eke out of that Toyota, see if he can get ahead of the Chevy. But he just doesn't have it. Now he's 2 wide with Levi McCarty. Almost 3 wide here. McCarty can get the speed up, but not quite. Berry still on the inside. There's a little bit of contact now. Berry getting loose. Ooh, he abandons that attempt, and he falls back several places now as Causey commands the lead.
Yeah, it was a big slide for the Saskatoon Realty Executives Toyota of Jordan Berry. Right now, McCarty up here to P2 now, gaining a lot of spots up to the inside now. Gets it down there to the quarter pound, the inside of Causey as they come into turn 1. Very aggressive move there. The thing should have snapped on him. Here he comes with the slider, though. He's going to get the spot.
Yeah, he's going to take it. That was very impressive. I almost called him Mikazi. Joseph Kazi gave him a little bit of a squeeze there, said, man, if you're going to do this, you got to really commit to it. And to his credit, Levi McCarty committed to it perfectly. He was able to control himself down through the transition twice, take that first place. Kazi already using the transition to get back at him. He's trying to get some speed up a little bit to do the exact same maneuver right back to McCarty. And there he goes to the inside, almost getting side by side.
Yeah, that move McCarty pulled there in the tri-oval, that was as aggressive as it gets, and it stuck for him. And there's maybe 6 inches to play there on the inside of Joseph Kazi there on the front straightaway. And he just committed to it, man. Kept his foot in it, didn't lift.
High on the outside now. He's using this high line on there, and then he cuts across the transition just so that nobody gets any big ideas as we come through the tri-oval. Back to the outside. And now he's got an inside line. He's been switching his lineup a little bit, I think, depending largely on who's behind him. But it looks like Kazi's got a couple of strategies at play, a few cards that he's putting down. One is the high line, and one is definitely down to the inside.
Yeah, right now Kazi's just trying to be anywhere that McCarty's not, trying to keep clean air to the front of that Chevrolet. Run up there against the fence. Build up good, launch of momentum down the straightaway, try to get up to the outside of McCarty as he come into turn 1. Wasn't able to materialize the run there. You see him dive down to the bottom now because he sees McCarty's going to the top. I think McCarty's going to be able to fight back pretty strong here as long as he hasn't burned him up these first 16 laps.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. You can drive this too hard, and if either one of these drivers could be overdriving it at this point, I'm inclined not to think it's Joseph Kazi because I just kind of know that he's, well, you know what? I've seen him overdrive his car a little bit. He can handle that. I don't have as much experience watching Levi McCarty, so you might have to tell me if you have any insight there. Can he handle overdriving those tires a little bit, staying out, being that leader?
Well, there's a big question mark with McCarty. The first half of the season, he was really strong, ran really good races, a lot of top 5 finishes, top 10s, really consistent. Couple weeks had the pace for the win. Things didn't materialize the way he needed them to. Whitley snookered a lot of them away from people at the beginning of the season. Right now, McCarty looking pretty strong, though. Looks like he's finally adjusted to the changes that we got mid-season to the truck. I've been clicking together some good runs here the past couple weeks and really looking alive tonight as he's holding off Joseph Kazi into turn 1.
He's doing his best, and Kazi just is sticking it to him, probably going to try to save his tires for later in the run. We are at lap 18 of 135 right now, so we still got a ways to go. These guys have got a long drive ahead of them, and it would behoove them to not necessarily overdrive, but we've got a couple tire changes. We might have a caution built in here, but let's see. Let's see how the tires play out after another 20 laps or so, and we'll talk again about them then.
Right now, these guys working on the lapper, heartbreaking as it is, the 91 approached. Still a lot of damage, things really torn up. And obviously, you can tell his night's pretty much, his opportunity at winning this thing is pretty much gone out the window.
Yeah, if there was any arrow in that truck, it's gone now.
Denson got a little too high, jumped the cushion, caught the fence in 3 and 4.
I saw a wall smack earlier from somebody that lost him a position. I couldn't quite put in the camera on who, but I've seen a little bit of wall smacking already going on here as these guys are really pushing.
Big slide job out of Joseph Kazi on the 21 machine of McCarty coming in turn 1. McCarty going to dive back down to the bottom here, though, trying to get it back going into 3.
He's got it down to the inside with the speed. He takes the lead.
Another huge slide job. These guys are not leaving anything on the table. McCarty almost into the fence.
They're racing like it's last lap racing right now, folks. If you're watching, you've got to be excited. There's a good chance that someone here is going to overdo it, but right now you've got 2 of the best guys behind the wheel at the front, and it's going to be just a matter of time before we find out who's going to be the first to make the first mistake.
I think McCarty may have overdone it on the earlier stages of this run because Kazi's got a lot of forward momentum now. He's starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. He's got a little over a gap on him now, which is probably the biggest lead he's had on McCarty in a while. Kazi looking back from behind, keeping it right in the middle into 1 and 2. Still pulling away now. It looks like he's almost a half second ahead of McCarty, just on natural speed alone. He's not even trying to break draft right now. He's just a rocket, just rocketing straight ahead. McCarty down on the inside. He's trying to just take advantage of the inside of the track, but it's costing him a little bit of speed, a little bit of friction.
Here comes Denson down on the bottom on the flat here, trying to take over P2 from McCarty. Got a really good launch out of 3 and 4. He's going to take second place without even contest. Yeah, so McCarty has definitely chewed those tires off, unfortunately. But look for him to be strong on a short run if it comes down to it later in the night.
He's fallen back a little bit further now as the Little Miami Brewing Company, the 79 machine of Jacob Denson, pulls further into second place. Here it comes, Jason Miz. Is he making the move now on Levi McCarty?
Does not have enough momentum. Not going to work for him this time. He might get to the... Well, now here comes Chapman on the outside in the 25.
Chapman in the 25, Miz in the 7 back down to the inside. He's looking for it. McCarty on the outside. Here comes again. They're going 3 wide, folks.
Chapman was about to squirt the middle. He thought better of it. Now side by side on the back straightaway. Miz looks like he's going to be able to take the position. Not quite, though, because McCarty is still fighting really hard on that outside line, giving it everything I think he's got left.
I would normally say fortune favors the bull, but I'm going to give it to Chapman here. I do not think that was the move, and I'm glad that he did not make it, because it could have been something really drastic for these guys here in 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, like I talked about last week, man. Chapman just really, really calculated. Got to get a couple things cleaned up on the strategies and strategy calls he makes later in these things, but he is really calculated when it comes to battles. So you see him all over the rear bumper of McCarty. He's gotten by Miz. Now he's going to dive it down to the bottom into 3, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to slide up in front of McCarty and get the spot.
Yep. He's got the speed. He's got the space. McCarty, though, not happy with it. He goes down to the inside, not able to take it from the apron. So close.
It wasn't close, man. That was a nose to the tail right there, but Chapman holding strong, going to keep it straight. He's up to P3 now. Let's see if he can catch up to Denson in second.
Absolutely. McCarty with that quick attempt at retaliation, trying to go down when he had the opportunity into the tri-oval transition there. Just not enough. Back up a little bit. McCarty is back down. It's Jason Miz. Who's that down on the inside there? That's Jacob Denson behind Joseph Causey, the lead right now. And in 3rd place, we've got Andrew Chapman. 4th place, Levi McCarty, who is just holding off the hounds barely. I think you're right about his tires, man. He's really been pushing it, trying to drive defensively, and I think it's starting to cost him his pace.
Problem for Miz right now is he's not being as aggressive as he needs to be. You see him running really, really shallow down there on the bottom. Whoa. Yeah, okay. Oh, Miz coming in, hitting.
Didn't expect that.
Well,
all of a sudden I saw the 32 go shooting by Jason Miz, and Jason Miz is pulling in. Don't know if he maybe... Oh, he's doing a drive-through. I believe Jason Miz is doing a drive-through right now.
I don't know how. Yeah, he's coming in.
Oh no,
tires
he's okay. He was going in. Just a touch of the wall for Jordan Berry there for a second. And then we'll look back up at the front though. We got that nice 1, 2, 3 again of Causey, Denson, Chapman. Down to the transition.
Causey.
These guys.
Causey not really getting away from Denson. Denson really bringing some heat to Causey here this week. He's been in that 1 to 2/10 bubble right behind the 88 machine this entire run.
He has
not
been
looking like he's losing, but man, Chapman is fast. Look at how quick he's caught up to these two.
He is chomping at the bit. Ooh, as with Denson high on the outside, Chapman now squeezing just a little bit towards the wall, but nope, he's going to come down. Both of them are going to avoid the transition just a little bit. As behind them, Levi McCarty makes his transition dive again, but he is out of this contention.
Yep,
He's going to need tires.
Chapman going to slide it back up here in front of the 79 out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. See, the 79's going to get a good run because he was up there on the top, but once they come into turns 3 and 4, I think it's going to be all advantage to Chapman. Chapman running a little bit lower. Oh, Causey coming in. Chapman going to probably stay out as late as he possibly can again this week.
Well, and here we are at lap 30. Lap 31 now of 135. And we've had our leader, Joseph Causey, go in for a little bit of gas and a little bit of tire change. We'll see if he can make up the time as Andrew Chapman still out. He's going to be pushing it, as we know, probably a little bit further. Jacob Denson behind him. Chapman actually has already pit once. He did pit on lap 4. So he was on slightly fresher tires than everybody else at the time. Denson now, he's pitting in. as Chapman drives it triumphantly towards lap 32.
Chapman looking pretty strong tonight. I like it. I hope that he makes the right calls and strategy this week so we can really get a good showing on the talent that he has in that battle between him and Causey as we get later into this thing.
It's a very good point. And right now it's Chapman's racetrack. Everybody is coming back out. Woo!
Not clear.
Not clear. Not clear. Causey almost taken out by Jason Miz. Flying past him as everybody's getting caught back up now. Everybody's sorting themselves out. We have a few cars on the lead lap. Got a few cars a little bit back. And then in the back of the pack here, we got Joshua Lucas. It looks like, unfortunately, we've lost Grigsby, Feltz, and McPherson over the course of the race. Someone just got black flagged. I think it might have been Jordan Berry.
Rough break for him, especially running in the second place position at the moment.
Yeah.
Before everything cycles back through. You don't want to get them penalties under the green, man.
No,
you know, it stings a little bit under yellow, but it makes it more fun, you know, having to drive through the field with the EOLs. But them green flag ones, they're almost insurmountable.
Just about. Our leader has put in now. Andrew Chapman takes it in. Jason Miz, he's out there. Chapman hoping for the world's fastest change here. He's up on the jacks. Miz coming around. He's about to pass Chapman for the lead. There he goes. Jason Miz, as Chapman makes his way back out onto the track, hoping to get some speed and catch back up to the front. It's Miz, Causey, and Chapman on lap 33. Lap 34, excuse me, here at Kansas Speedway.
I'll tell you what a wonderful track this is.
It really is.
Always get excited when we come here in anything.
It's a fun track to watch. Right next to the the casino, also.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the Hollywood Casino.
That's right. One of those tracks where you're basically, if you got the right set of drivers, and tonight we definitely do, you're guaranteed a pretty good race. The track is built for that aggression that everyone loves to see. And we've had some aggression tonight, folks. We've had some very aggressive drivers. Speaking of which, Jacob Denson, I think he's about to make a pass on Levi McCarty. There he goes. Jacob Denson passing Levi McCarty for third place. McCarty back in fourth now. He's got fresh tires. He pitted on lap 33. So let's see if McCarty can make use of that fresh rubber.
And look right behind them. Look right behind them, too. You got a 25 machine. Andrew Chapman out here on, you know, the freshest tires in the field, just about.
That's right.
Stayed out late again. Really bit him in the foot last week at Richmond, so.
Stayed out again. He's still holding down fifth place. He's up from 10th place. So even though he did stay out a little bit later, he stayed out to lap 33. Most people were pitting somewhere between 29 and 33. He didn't try to go on a marathon. He didn't try to, you know, push it too far.
Oh, big block. 21. McCarty's trying to fight back on older tires. Makes a little bit of contact with Chapman down here and turned into trial.
Ooh. A little bit of sauciness from McCarty. Saying, give me the room, buddy, or I'll make the room.
Keep it under you. There you go.
That was the squeeze of the show so far. Very big squeeze. McCarty able to hold on to it. Keeps the car underneath him. Pulls back into position right behind Andrew Chapman.
Andrew Chapman going to move his focus to second place, and Denson now.
Now Denson down to the inside. The gap between Denson and Causey has grown a little bit here, folks. It's about a second and change now between our leader and second place. So the battle is for second currently.
It's getting knocked back pretty quick. They've reeled 3/10 and literally a half a lap. The race leader of Joseph Causey, and I think they're going to have him here in the next two.
You got me
Probably
there.
even less than that.
I was going to say, you know what? As I look at it, you got me there. The Delta does seem to indicate that things are getting better in in favor of our pack of second-place drivers. If they work together, they could get up there any second now, but I think there's a little bit too much tension between Denson and Chapman and McCarty to get them to try to line this up too much. As you can see right now, we got Denson in the middle lane. You got Chapman down low. You got McCarty up high. And here comes the lapped car of Chase and Miz.
I'll tell you one thing. Ain't much that Causey can do with that tire disadvantage that those guys behind him have over him right now, though.
That's right. He can't. And so that disadvantage is going to come into play. But Joseph Causey has often shown us that he knows how to drive the track better than most drivers on the track. And I have a feeling that's going to be what really pays off and keeps him at the front here as we go through the stages.
Yeah, the thing that'll make it difficult for him, though, is this track, man, you got all the options in the world.
That's true.
Most weeks we go to, it's pretty one lane. You know, you can use the outside line as defense. This is one of those tracks where you can drive wherever you can put it. As long as you can figure out how to make it stick, it'll work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And stick it does. Down to the white line, picture perfect. We've got eyes on the front. Once again, a quick recap. It's Causey, Denson, and Chapman in the front. And in the back, McCarty is passing Jason Miz now. Staying on the lead lap. Miz just squeezing in behind. Lead by McCarty. McCarty into the wall. Has lost a few miles per hour. And Jason Miz moves back up a little bit.
Yeah, McCarty on some pretty old tires right now compared to some of these guys. And pushing as hard as he possibly can, but there is a point where you push too much. That advantage for Joseph Causey now down to 0.4 of a second, as Denson can pretty much wave at him right now, and Causey can see him in the mirror.
Absolutely, whatever gesture he wants. Causey's got to be thinking to himself, now what do I do? I've got Denson coming up. I've got Chapman behind him. What do I do? Do I drive my line? Seems to be what he's doing. He's not trying to break draft right now. He's saying, come on, boys. You want to drive fast? Let's drive fast. Down to the transition. Here's where he uses his little speed boost maneuver to stays firmly in first place, while the 25 of Andrew Chapman is looking hungry.
Yeah, Chapman diving it down low there in 1 and 2, like what he did, building a little bit of clean air on that front splitter, get a good launch out of the corner.
Let's watch this tri-oval here. Let's see. I got a feeling that Causey's going to come down to the inside and Chapman's going to follow him. Let's find out.
Yeah, these guys just trying to maximize, do everything he can to build an advantage or keep an advantage. So Chapman going to go up to the top here. He's going to try and build momentum down the back straightaway, and I think that might just blow the doors off Causey when they get down here onto the straight. Going to set him up with a good run going into turn 3. Might be able to get a look down.
It's a beautiful run. He's got the speed.
Here he is, going to peak low. Causey going to go low to block, and Chapman's going to go back up to the top. He faked him out.
That was either a good block or perfect timing from Joseph Causey. Probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Down to the transition. Chapman's got the speed. He's looking for it.
Here he comes, right up around the top. Causey going to dive down to the bottom. I think Chapman, not quite. Causey, good job keeping it clear. Oh, a bumper down the back straightaway. Chapman dives back down to the bottom.
A little bit of loosey-goosey. You saw the wiggle on Joseph Causey as he was coming around. Chapman now, I'm holding my breath here watching this battle. I'm waiting for the move. It's like watching two masters just go blow for blow. And again, waiting for one of them to finally get just a little bit of sweat in their eye and see who makes the first mistake.
I can tell you who's sweating the most right now is Joseph Causey in that 88 machine right now up here at the front of the field.
Oh, he's got to be.
Still, Chapman is all over the rear bumpers. They come into turn 3. Almost had him lifted up off the track.
He's got him tight now down there, refusing to let go. Oh, this is making me nervous. Fully in the draft.
Chapman with a little $150,000 lawn mowing action there in the 25, right there on the front straightaway. Doing a little bit of landscaping. You see him dive back down to the bottom, coming out too. I think he's going to get him here. They're going to be side by side, door to door, going into turn 3.
They are. Causey looking not to get contact.
Oh, they touched there.
They must have. They must have. Causey now down to the transition as well. He can't seem to quite get the same boost of momentum out of it, though, that Chapman was able to do. Well, it looks like actually Causey now passing up Chapman.
Yeah, Causey with the advantage now, but Chapman back there again. All over the bumpers. They come down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It looks like he's going to push him into turn number 3.
Yep, there's a little contact. Can he get him unseated? Can he get him a little bit in his head?
Oh, he's there. This is a matter of Causey bites on it. Now, right now, this is what I like to see for Chapman, man. He's got the quarter panel going into turn 1. Causey's going to take a more shallow entry. And this is pretty much going to give it to Chapman as they come out of turn number 2.
Yep, Chapman's got that speed, and up here in the middle high line, you can build that momentum, turn that wrecking ball on, and really get it swinging.
Yep. New race leader, 25 machine, Andrew Chapman.
Love it. And we're going to probably see that happen a couple of times here tonight. I didn't get the word about any official cautions being thrown. So we're going to have to keep our notes open here. Oh, here we go. Looks like there's going to be a yellow at the 60th lap. We've passed stage 20 cleanly, stage 1 cleanly. That was at the 20th lap. Stage 2 is going to be at 60 laps, and we're going to have a yellow thrown at that point. So that is when things will squeeze up a little bit again. But in the meantime, let's see how many laps Chapman can actually hold on to, because now Causey in the draft is looking to hold on. But I'm not sure. I may be, for the first time, I have a little bit of hesitation in saying it feels like Causey's dominating this one.
As long as the strategies keep working in Chapman's favor and he keep that little bit of tire advantage, man, I don't see what Causey can do against him. Chapman has shown a lot of speed tonight, just about equal to Joseph Causey. It's just a matter at this point of tire advantage. I think Causey might be a little bit better on even stuff, but I think the way that the tire games have been playing for the 25 machine puts him just a little bit of an advantage at the moment. Especially on this run. I mean, it's guaranteed at this run, man. You saw how much they closed in on him.
Trying his best now here. Levi McCarty out on the outside in 4th place still. Down on the inside, Jason Miz. The Dirty Mo passing up Jacob Denson. Miz still not quite on the first lap. He's still a lap down from Chapman and Causey.
Yeah, right now Miz just trying to ensure that he gets that lucky dog position when the caution does come out for this stage. Looking pretty good, in good shape right now. First car lap down, but that is, as long as they don't lap that 19 machine of Evans, he's about to fall into the clutches as your race leader for too long here. You see them on the same straightaway, and that's going to be the biggest sweat factor for the 7 machine of Miz.
I see that here. And so here comes Chapman right up behind the man you just said. Oh, I forgot his name. Oh my goodness. You just mentioned him. The guy who's one of the lap cars here.
Rob Evans.
Thank you, Rob Evans. Oh, phew. Yes, he's coming up right on Rob Evans here. We're looking at some traffic, just a little bit, with only about 10 active cars left in tonight's race. The traffic is going to get very spread out until lap 60, when we're going to collapse down again a little bit. So expect these long stretches to last for sort of like a sine wave. There's going to be a stretch of traffic and then a stretch of nothing. And during that stretch of nothing, that's when we got to watch individual racers. But the traffic coming up has me kind of excited. So I kind of want to see how Evans is going to avoid wrecking Chapman.
Oh, Evans in the water too. Huge shot going down the back straightaway. He's pretty much going to just throw out the white flag and let Chapman go by here, which is going to move him into the lucky dog position, knocking Miz out of it. So now Miz basically going to have to be hoping for a miracle here to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah,
and maintain the same strategy as the field.
He's 5.5 seconds behind Evans, so it's going to be tough if we go to the expected yellow here. In 2 laps, we've got the yellow coming up. So Miz, unfortunate, but Rob Evans in a great spot to get a new lease on this race when we come around.
And if it wasn't for the contact there, the 19's coming down pit road. He just signaled out the window. So, looks like this falls back into Miz's hand here for the time being.
Okay. Yep, that's Rob Evans down into pit road there. Miz back into the spot. He wants to be in. And up at the front, let's just do a quick recap. Chapman, Causey, Denson, Levi McCarty in 4th, and Aaron K., who we haven't talked about much tonight. Aaron K. in 5th. Aaron K. is up 6 places from 11th place up to 5th after all the bumping and moving of tonight in the Liquor Lubricants car.
Yeah, 37.
That's a creative rap.
Yeah, 37 machine. Aaron K. That's a new face in the field this week. Both him and the 19 machine of Rob Evans.
Well, hey, top 5 be a great place to make your mark on your first race.
Yes, it would.
Coming around lap 60 out of 135 here at Kansas Speedway on GridVision. Andrew Chapman leads the race still. We don't have a battle going on right now. Everyone is a little bit spread out. I think the closest thing going on right now is still Chapman and Causey, who are only a few seconds apart from each other. Aside from that, there's a good about 4-second gap at the minimum between next two closest cars. So,
yep. And
actually,
go ahead and lock that up. Chapman, stage winner here.
That's right.
So, pretty good deal
I
for
think
him.
Causey took 1, and he'll take 2. Stage winner. I think we're supposed to get the caution here. I guess we'll find out here in a second, but that is lap 61. There it is. Yellow flag. Slow it down. Everybody can take a little break, get a little less white-knuckled. Breathe out, release the tension.
Sure thing. I think now's as good of a time as any to send this to some of our presenting sponsors. So
I think that's a great idea.
Side.
I think it's a great idea. And in fact, I'll pull up the playoff sponsor, Haproon Design. I mentioned them earlier in tonight's race, right?
Brother, you need to stop muting them. Commercial.
What?
We're going to commercials, buddy.
Oh, I thought that's what... I'm confused. Anyways, why don't we go to commercial? I'll send it to commercial right now, folks. We'll be back on GridVision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back, folks, and you're back, and it's all back at Kansas Speedway. Right now, we're on the planned yellow that signals the beginning of our final stage, Stage 3. I am Joe LaCastro in the GridVision booth, joined alongside Sheldon Adkins and our producer, who I can hear loud and clear, Austin Derbyshire. How you doing, Sheldon?
I'm doing all right. Something's being weird somewhere with scoring or something. The handful of trucks a lap down that shouldn't be a lap down.
It looks like the machine spirits are unhappy. I wonder if they're going to make note of that later, or if we're going to just roll with it. I'm not really sure.
I think we should put... Oh, I know what happened. Causey ran out of fuel coming to the stage yellow.
Did he have to tow?
No, he was able to coast it in, but it looks like he lost a lap in the process.
Ouch. Well, that's my pick, down a lap. But it looks like your guys' picks, Jordan Probst is still in the race. He's down a few laps, but he's still here, still kicking. Always good to see guys stick around and keep racing even when the things are against them. Speaking of racing, we're green on GridVision.
Yeah, we've actually only got 3 trucks on the lead lap right now as Chapman runs off to a nice little commanding lead over the field at the moment with Levi McCarty in 2nd place and Denson in 3rd. I think Denson's all the way at the back of the field right now, though.
That's right. There's a 3-wide position that just resolved into a nice line, though. That could have been a little bit hairy. Yeah, we got guys all over right now after that with a little bit of fuel problems for Joseph Causey, with people getting sorted out with the pits, people getting into wrecks. We've got cars all over the last couple of laps here. Cars from lap 64 all the way up to 67. If you don't count Jordan Probst, unfortunately. But from 64 to 67, we've got trucks. And the 3 in the lead lap, the 3 in the lead of the race right now, that is Chapman, Denson, and Miz. Miz is in the middle of the pack, sort of.
Yeah, all of them. All of them are. Denson's in the middle of the pack, too. Right now, the cars battling your race leader are trying to get their lap back. The 88 machine of Joseph Causey up there on the outside. First car lap down. Now the last car on the lead lap. Here comes the 21, Levi McCarty, trying to get his lap back, too. Man, shades of early 2000s Cup Series racing. Did you see him try to stagger up there to the top, but not be able to get it done?
This has resulted in an unexpectedly exciting situation.
Unexpectedly hyper-confusing situation.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'll give you that. But hyper-confusing can be very exciting.
I don't know. You got a lot of trucks that could be stirring the mixed right now, stuck a lap down.
That's true. That's true. And we want to give the leaders a chance to race each other and not the lapped cars. So I do hope that the excitement dies down. How about that? And that we get this sorted out pretty soon. And we see who's going to be up front and where they're going to sit.
I mean, honestly speaking, came from a little bit of a scoring error with the stage yellow. I'll leave it at that. It's supposed to come out at 60, I believe. It took so long, though, for them to get the last truck on the lead lap. That is the rule. The last truck on the lead lap has to cross the line before the caution can wave. But since the last truck on the lead lap was about 25 seconds back, almost a lap down, it caused a lot of guys to go a lap down because they ran out of fuel, burning fuel with that last lap.
Wow. Yeah, you often don't think about fuel until it bites you in the butt. And this seems like one of those situations where at least a couple of drivers, including Joseph Claus, didn't have a strategy for that moment.
No, nobody was expecting there to be that much of a spread.
Yeah. Chapman now almost putting it into McCarty. McCarty popping it back up to the top line to give him some space. Jason Miz up in third place now.
Yep, bit
He's
right
up
before the
6
stage.
places.
Bit right before the stage end. Somehow was able to keep himself locked inside of the top 3 on the lead lap. This, with the strategy being all screwed up and diced up for a lot of these guys, it's going to play into the hands of a lot of people that we weren't really talking about. Denson, 79 machine, looking good. Had some pace earlier, but, things didn't materialize the right way for him. Chapman, class of the field, aside from Causey, he's in a massive advantage right now, because if we don't get a caution, which we likely won't,
Very well may not.
Chapman is absolutely in the catbird seat to just walk away with this thing at ease. Doesn't have to worry about much, just holding off the 79 machine, which you're better than at the moment, and the 7, and you're good to go.
And then just suck it in behind McCarty or Causey. My guy, I think he's going to pass McCarty here, but we'll see. If he can just tuck it in and stick with and use the speed from these guys, but getting away from the 79, I think you're right. It looks like he's got the speed on him just in just about every turn. It's a game of inches, but he's got him.
Well, Chapman this season has been better at... So the main thing that's, the determining factor in these trucks is tire management, right? It's a fixed setup. Nobody's got anything different. It's literally comes down to how well you can manage your tires if you get the pace to run up front.
Right.
Chapman all year, him, Kevin Dick, and Jordan Probst have been like those guys, the first guy outside of your Ed Shearer Jr., your Mark Whitley, or your Joseph Causey. And the guys a little bit further behind that, they don't have the tire saving figured out quite as well as these guys that have been running up front in that mix every week have. Chapman's biggest strength is, his off-center strategies. His biggest weakness, though, fighting against Joseph Causey has been the fact that he's not able to capitalize because Causey's just so fast all across the run. Chapman really good at the tail end of the run. Causey, great from start to finish. 7 machine, Miz coming back down pit road.
Miz and Denson had been fighting each other very ferociously just recently. I'm wondering what's going on with Miz. He was running great.
I think he's just coming down to get some fuel thrown in that thing, maybe.
I guess so. Maybe he wants to make it to the end. Could be a bit of big brain strategy here.
So much weirdness going on right now.
Yeah. It's kind of a interesting mix of strategies and things they can't control and things they can. A lot going on in this race right now.
Yeah, if this thing plays out how it's looking like it will, that is a great move and a great call from Miz.
Yeah, that's going to work out. Well, let's see. Chapman, Denson, and Causey right now in the lead. Chapman still just tucked in behind McCarty, who is the first car below him. McCarty just barely off the lead lap. Let's see how it goes. Any other action going on? A little bit further back in. We could do a little recap of who's racing. Pretty big gap there between a few of these racers. About a 10-second gap between 5th and 6th. That's Aaron Kay and Jason Miz. And then as we go toward the back of the track there, Jordan Probst. A car alone. But let's take a look back at the front and see how the strategy is going for the 25 and the 79. The 79 has fallen back a little bit, as you mentioned. He's just not got that speed. The Jacob Denson car does not quite have the speed to keep up with Chapman, who is tucked in just enough, I think, with the 21 to get in the tunnel and keep up with him without wanting to go around him. He's made no attempt to go around him. There's no real need to. And I think he's going to tuck it here to save his tires for as long as he possibly can. Does he have enough? He doesn't have enough gas to make it, though, to the end of the race.
No. Shorten fuel cells. They're going to make another pit stop here.
Yeah, so that's the strategy that I think we saw Miz try to get ahead of.
Yeah, you saw Miz get himself set up to where he's within the window. more or less.
Within
Chapman
the
right
window
now,
by
just
barely.
Chapman right now, you just want to ride around, maybe get by that 21 machine so you can get back there behind Causey, kind of try to get Causey to slip up, make a few mistakes, burn his tires off, and come back and maybe get stuck a lap down.
Yeah, if he's got challenge from anybody. Oh, into
McCarty
the wall
in the
goes
fence.
McCarty.
That's why you want to pass the 21 machine, because he has clipped the fence a couple times earlier in the night. You kind of don't want to put yourself around some of those guys that make a little more costly mistake that could cost you at the end of the day.
Right, yeah. Don't pay their fare. Well, what could have been a dicey situation ended up not being dicey at all, thankfully. Only a little bit of scratch paint, a little bit more scratch paint on the right wall there of the 21. Meanwhile,
if you're Causey right now, you're just driving like a pissed off teenager till this thing's over.
you're driving like mom didn't give you a Pepsi, but all you wanted was a Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to you.
All I wanted was just one Pepsi, man. I didn't think we'd get any ST references in at any point in the broadcast, but here we are.
Hey, anytime I can reference mom not getting me a Pepsi, I'm gonna make the reference, because you get the right crowd when they get that reference.
Don't get me institutionalized up here in the booth. McCarty coming in now.
You're not crazy.
Crazy.
Oh.
I was crazy once. Our producer just in here absolutely quoting it, but here is Chapman to the back bumper of Causey now.
Wow. Giving him the same treatment that he gave Levi McCarty just a little bit ago. Riding that bumper, trying to get up in his head.
And now I've got to wonder, man, is Chapman just better tonight than Causey? New equipment, new wheel. Basically
Right?
looking
Oh,
like a
yeah.
new driver out here at the same time, up here at the point of this thing, running really good laps. All over the tail
He's
end
had a
of
week.
Causey. If he does go ahead and grab this thing, I wouldn't say that it was a fluke, man.
You know, Chapman has really been impressive. You are absolutely right. He's had a new week to break in a new setup. He's been driving like a bat out of hell during this race so far. And
Truck on second place, Denson on pit road right now.
oh, excellent. Okay, getting set up for that last shot. Set up for the moon shot, as it were.
Now, if you're just
25.
tuning in and wondering why so many of these guys are all across the board, Louder Field, we had an incident early on in the race, took out a handful of guys, including Probst, Grigsby, Phelps, and McPherson. And then we had a couple guys run out coming to the stage, so they kind of got themselves stuck a lap down. That's where we are now, with Chapman leading.
And it's been an up and down race in terms of randomness and strategies. Thank
Awesome.
you. We got some YouTube chat asking us about what in the world happened. Did that prompt your conversation there?
Yes, it did. My buddy
Excellent.
Brandon, we are broadcasting from your home track in Kansas, too.
Hey, Brandon, thanks for hitting us up in YouTube chat.
A 3-horse race. We got Miz, capable, as well as Jacob Denson, 79, was in position 2. Dave Pitt, Chapman staying out late like he so often does.
Yep. He's going to have to make the call at some point. The longer he stays out now, the harder he's stacking the chips against himself, I think. I think that he's watching the strategy play out around him, but he's not taking advantage of it himself, which is getting in and trying to get that last shot of gas. Like I said, maybe he wants to stay lightweight. Maybe he wants to keep moving and just put laps on for a while. But he's going to need to fill that car up with fuel more or less pretty soon.
So in a normal situation, I'd have to 100% agree with you. But man, tonight with Causey being stuck at the tail end of the lead lap, right off the nose of Chapman here, I feel like the staying out is actually the call, because right now what he is doing is he is pushing Causey to stay out as late as possible, completely negating any opportunity for Causey to go ahead and get an advantage. These two are staying in tow with each other on the strategy, and these are the two guys at the front of the field. literally.
That's true. They are tightly linked right now. You're right. Their fates are sort of intertwined, and I think they both know it. We've seen it in how they've been driving each other a little bit. He drove him hard, but he didn't drive him as hard as he drew McCarty. He pushed McCarty's car. He pushed McCarty's car a little bit there. He almost got within range of doing that to Kazi, then fell back a little bit. I think that maybe he realized that if he can push himself a little bit further and not by pushing, it will invariably push Kazi. So as long as he can drive his car a little bit longer, a little bit farther, Kazi's going to see him in the rearview mirror and keep thinking win, 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 win. And it's he's not going to get that signal.
I just also don't see where those guys short pitting. Yeah, they put themselves in a really good position. But
Yep.
I see that long run pace with McCarty pushing it a little bit longer, or not McCarty, Chapman pushing it a little bit longer. I see that paying a huge advantage to him. Because he'll just blow by him at the end of it.
And this is the kind of track where you can really get into that groove too. If you're a little bit ahead and you've got a good position, like you are. Ooh, here comes Chapman.
That's a good move. Let's go give him about 40 laps. 40 laps on this set of tires. To the end of this race.
He's got exactly 40 laps left, or about 42 laps left. Here as we're on lap 93 of 135. Chapman still holding the lead. Kazi blasting around the track.
Yep, here comes Kazi bringing it in too.
He might get black flag for that. That was really fast.
That's the thing, though. That's good entry.
Okay. That was fast. Oof. Slamming the brakes. He was moving quick. That's all right, though, as we get a little bit of an expected mix-up in the top of the food chain. Jason Miz now leading our race. But he's on tires and gas from lap 76. He's not going to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, you're already seeing that advantage for Miz right now, falling rapidly to Denson in second place. And once Chapman gets out here, gets a little bit heat built in those tires and gets the momentum going, it's that advantage that both of them fellas have is going to absolutely evaporate.
Absolutely. Chapman on 92 pit, Denson on 85, Miz on 76. They're all spread out 10 laps apart at least. But we're going to find out what happens after this mix-up, after this commercial break. So let's go ahead and throw it to that, and we'll be right back on GridVision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, folks, to the High Slide Thursday Night Truck Series on GridVision. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined by Sheldon Atkins, controlled on our puppet strings by Austin Derbyshire. How are you tonight, Sheldon?
You may got the string. I don't. He's treating me like a full ventriloquist dummy. I don't like it.
Oh, you got the hand treatment. I see. Okay, well, I'm happy to have the strings then. So we're back for another 32 laps at Kansas here at the High Slides Playoff Series. We've had a little bit of mix-up tonight. We've had a caution flag that was just a little bit late that mixed things up a little bit too. It's been an interesting night of racing with about 10 cars left out of a 14-car field when we started. Right now at the top of the race, we have Denson, followed by Chapman, followed by Miz, and it looks like things have ironed out again as people have come out of the pits, and we are anticipating a green flag run to the finish.
I'll tell you what, a lot of things have changed, a lot of things have shaken, but one thing that has remained the same is Andrew Chapman is fast tonight. See him right there behind Causey. First car a lap down. First car one lap down. Just a little bit behind Jacob Denson, your race leader at the moment. Chapman, though, man, he put himself in a great position. He did a good job saving, did a good job pushing his fuel window, and that is what has put him in the situation to potentially capitalize. No mistakes tonight. That 25 has been hooked up, and the driver has just been on the wheel.
Now, here's a question from Brendan Green on YouTube. If we were the crew chief of the 25, we were in Chapman's ear right now, how do we keep him in victory lane? How do we get him up there? What's his key to the race right now?
My key for that 25 right now is you just got dealt a massive hand when it comes to the lottery, when it comes to the motorsports gods. Keep that thing in one piece, and you've got it. As you see him right now go for the lead from the 79.
Perfectly timed.
Stay out of your head.
Perfectly timed. You said it. He's got it. As you said it, the 25 passed up the 79 using a little bit of boost off the front of that, off the back of that Joseph Causey car, the 88 machine. And the 79 drops down now going into the pits as Andrew Chapman screams into the lead.
Yeah, right now these guys are getting themselves set up so they have enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing. Got to get that last set of tires. I'm not sure how the strategy is going to work out for Chapman right now. I think he was saving enough that he might be able to make it to the end if he just keeps saving fuel.
I think he might, you know what, pitting in on 92, you get about 40 laps in. He's going to be running on fumes by the time that we get to 135. But we'll see. We'll see. It really depends on how he's driving it, and he's in a tire-saving position behind Joseph Causey right now. He's in a fuel-saving position behind Joseph Causey right now. And he is 31 seconds ahead of Joseph Causey right now, who is in second place. So if anybody was going to be able to make it here on fumes, it might just be Andrew Chapman, and it might just be tonight.
I'll tell you what, I can promise you what team Joseph Causey is going to be pulling for this year.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't think that Joseph Causey is going to be subscribing to Hokie Nation this year.
No Hokie Nation for Joseph Causey. Not after this race.
No, he's going to have nightmares seeing the Virginia Tech logo behind him for probably the next week.
Right. Chasing him down. He's going to see it in his dreams over his shoulder. He's going to have to see it for another, we'll see. We're on a 109, another 35 laps here. Or excuse me, 25 laps here.
Yep, getting down to the nitty-gritty of this thing now.
This is it. This is where what we call the wire. As we get down to it, a little bit of a gap has grown now. The fuel-saving, tire-saving properties changing just a little bit on Andrew Chapman. So again, he's got barely enough time to get down pit lane, get changed, and get back out if he needs to. Pardon me. Woo! If he needs to. That was a little hiccup there, live on the air for everybody.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, those are really
19 in the fence there, 1 and 2.
Well, that's
Evans.
good, Rob Evans.
You know what? He's had a good, quiet night. Successfully in the top 10. Has first night in the league. Hasn't made any big mistakes and ruined anybody's day. That's about all you can ask for.
You're right. I'd say you're absolutely right. Another guy who's in that same position, right ahead of him in 5th place, is Aaron Kay. About 20 seconds ahead of Rob Evans. Aaron Kay, this is his first race here with High Slide, and he, like we said earlier, 5th place would not be a bad place to start. And he's had a great race so far tonight. He's one of the lower IR drivers in the race, rank-wise. So it's nice to see some of these guys who are fresh in the field make their way up and place really well. And he's holding it down.
That's a really interesting sponsorship too, especially if you look at the rear end of that 37 machine. It's good for a laugh.
It's one of those ones I'm not sure if I should just say it on the air or just leave it for the surprise for the viewers.
It's on the truck. It says Liquor Box Lubricants.
That's right. Home. Yeah, you
Liquor.
know what? I was this many years old when I realized you're supposed to pronounce the word box as part of the title.
Yeah, I just realized that too, but it's on there, so.
Fair play. Okay, well, the 32 of Josh Lucas looks like he's pitting in now. That's another car, maybe the last car to pit in. Anybody else who would be pitting in? Charlie Harcum is the furthest out right now. He's from lap 90. Andrew Chapman now going down pit lane, making his play.
Oh. Did he just...
He just throw the race to Joseph Causey.
That wasn't a penalty, was it?
That's fair. I don't know if he got a penalty or not. I didn't see how fast he was going across the line there, the 25.
Here comes Causey bringing it in. He's pushed as far as he cares to as well.
Makes it.
Heartbreaking night for Causey, too. Had such a fast truck, and just he's stuck in a position he can't do anything with. The battle between him and Chapman would have been amazing. And here's Denson now, race leader, as it stands.
He's out in front here. Denson, where is he stand right now?
I think he might be good on fuel.
6th place in the standings, just above the bubble. Denson currently holding 1st place in the race.
But here's the thing, man. If he can maintain this gap, I think he's got the thing locked up because he is absolutely good on fuel. Only thing is,
you're right.
How fast can Chapman close 5.5 seconds?
How fast can he close 5.5 seconds? Will 13 laps of tires make a difference? Not 13 laps, excuse me. A little less than that, like 7 laps of tires make a difference between the two of them. Well, is another question. But the gap is 5 seconds for Chapman to try to make up here. He's about to make the pass on Jason Miz.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty easy pass. The advantage on tires to what Miz has right now is just insurmountable.
Yeah. Look at Denson out front. The gap is closing slowly, but if a move is going to be made, it's going to have to happen within about 20 laps here. With 19 to go at Kansas Speedway.
Oh, he sawed it down from 5.5 down to 4.6 by the time they get halfway to the straightaway here. Nope, bringing it back up to 4.8, but still, it's a huge gain. 4.7 now coming into 1.
A game of tenths of seconds that get chopped down lap over lap over lap. As long as no mistakes get made, as long as clean driving gets done, it could be very, very close here at the end. We're going to find out as he makes the pass on one of our lapped cars.
See Charlie Harcum going to get out of the way there.
Smart move, Harcum.
Yep. Classy. Harcum never want to make, big noise and ruin people's races. Unfortunately, he's got a torn up truck tonight, but doing a good job capitalizing at the same time. 7th place.
Absolutely. That gap now down to 4.2, 4.1, almost down to 4 seconds. I know we're getting a little nitty gritty on the numbers, but at this point, the numbers are kind of exciting, I got to say.
I think he's going to get them by sure.
These are some pretty high-rated drivers, too, so if anybody was going to be able to find the spot or find the way to sort of solo drive your way up to where you need to be, it's going to be one of these guys. Chapman, almost a 4K driver himself.
Yeah, Chapman, very scrappy in the fixed series. I've ran a bunch of truck races against him here in the past couple months, and dude's always up there sitting around that top 5, top 10 range, like in that belt.
Love it. That seems like a good opportunity to learn from the best.
And really calculated. Haven't seen him, throw himself into stupid positions in those races. So easy for people in fixed to go out there and make a dumb move because they know they've got a short amount of time to get the job done. Don't really see that out of Chapman. You see a lot of classy, courteous driving, very Mark Martin-like in the fixed series.
I like that name call. Name drop. Good reference. As we are now sub 3 seconds in the gap between Denson and Chapman, and it is getting even smaller. All eyes right now fixated on this situation. We got a little ride along here.
I can tell you what, either one of these two, the 79 or the 25, if either one of them managed to walk away with this thing tonight, it's going to be pretty popular, especially among the field, because a lot of these, these two are two of the most respectful guys that we see every week. You don't see aggressive, stupid moves out of these guys, and I just feel like everybody be, happy to see, hey, well, finally somebody that's not Causey get the thing done, and from one of the two nicer guys in the field, pretty neat.
Absolutely. That's what we'd like to see. And there's going to be a little bit of that going on tonight. One of the two are going to take it, most likely here. I'm not going to, fingers crossed. A lot can happen toward the end of a race here in the last 10 laps.
And Chapman, man, he set himself up early with this. Came in when we had that caution on lap 2. Filled that thing up. Came back, topped her off. Because he knew that fuel was going to be so important by the time he got to the end of it, and that's the difference that allowed for him to push it to the end of the stage earlier to keep him on the lead lap, or really to lap the field, and that's what's got him in position now to win this thing. And that strategy has bit him on the hand all year long. And tonight is a night where everything just clicks together, everything worked out exactly how I needed it. Now he's here in position to get this lead from Denson to win this thing, and he's going to get him here coming into 1. I'm pretty sure because he is closing quick. It's down to 3.5 tenths.
Closing super fast. I think that Causey might have gotten in his head a little bit.
Down to the inside in turn 1. Here we go. Not even a contest out of the 79 at Denson. Denson going to fall back to P2.
A quick give and go, and that's all it took for Andrew Chapman to take the lead at Kansas. Lap 124 out of 135 tonight here on GridVision, bringing you the High Slide Truck Series. Brought to you by Haproon Design. Andrew Chapman, the strategist. The strategist.
The strategist?
I'm going to try that one on.
It's the strategist.
It was the strategist move. It was very strategist. I gotta say, it's like training a rare martial art, and then finally you get a chance to put it on display.
It's everything clicking together for him tonight, man. I'm happy to see it.
Love it as the 25 machine cruises along, increasing the gap between itself and the 79. Here with less than 10 laps to go, 9 to go. Here,
we're looking at McCarty. That's your first guy, 1 lap down. He's sitting there praying and crossing his fingers, hoping for a caution.
Trying to get one. I know that the only thing that could cause one at this point would be a self spin with where everybody is. We got a few people making passes now. The 19 machine of Rob Evans passing on the outside of someone there on the inside.
Very battered Charlie Harcum.
Very bad at Charlie Arkham. That's right. So we got a little bit of passing going on still here toward the end of the race. There is a chance for some contact, but a lot of people very spread out again over a number of laps. So I fully anticipate let's get this to the end fully green. That's what I'd like to see, and I think we all would like to see it.
That right there was your heartbreak of the night, too. You saw that battered, torn up 91 machine just puttering himself around here. Unfortunately, 15 laps down. Started on the pole. Looked like he had this thing, in a good shot to put a good battle to Causey for, a first win of the season. Been so strong all year, Probst has, and
yeah,
just misfortune bites and gets a penalty at the start. Has to come in and serve it, and, may or may not have made a mistake. Got himself caught up in a huge wreck that collected a lot of other guys, and just devastating for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You're starting on such a high and then immediately getting sidelined by that kind of situation. It's going to be rough. And I will say, he did just make a place up. He passed Aaron K, who pitted in. But it looks like Probst has got a lot to... I hope to say a lot to look forward to in the next race, given how strongly he performed in qualifying, how strongly, getting the pole, knowing the track. Maybe it was a Kansas thing, maybe it was his night then, and it just became Andrew Chapman's night later. But I'd like to think that kind of heat, that kind of adversity pushing you down will just make you rise back up all that much stronger. So I think look to Probst for a strong play next week.
Oh, unfortunately for Probst at the same time, though, next week is Daytona. That is anybody's bag. That's going to come down to who you're friends with and who you're not friends with. Because you get somebody that wants to tandem with you, you're good to go. If you can't find help, you're done.
That's right. We're going to see another situation where it's going to be a matter of battlefield diplomacy that determines the race finish. Who wants to help who get where. Lap 130 of 135, 5 left to go. Andrew Chapman in the lead by almost 5 seconds now. Second place, Jacob Denson. Third, Jason Miz. Fourth, Joseph Causey. And fifth, Levi McCarty, who's 1 lap down.
Just keep it in one piece. Bring that thing home. Nobody behind you even has anything for you. Nobody in front of you even matters at this point.
That's right. Most of the gaps here are very wide. We have, like I said, we had a few cars passing, but at this point, everyone is very, very spread out. So we really just want to bring these cars home, get the points locked in. The battles have been fought, and now it's a matter of taking care of the vehicle, taking care of the machine, not getting excited or not getting tired. Let's see what happens here. Taking that nice high outside line. That's the 25 with 4 laps to go. Eyes on the VT
really
vehicle.
Take about 10% off of there, man. Got really close there in 3 and 4 to knocking down that fence.
Yeah, not really. Doesn't want to drive it too hard at this point, right?
He ain't racing nobody. Denson's 5 back. There you go. Just cool it off.
Chill out, will ya? You've put on an amazing show. I'm looking forward to talking to Chapman about his night tonight. If we can get him on for a nice post-race interview. In fact, I'm excited to talk to all of our top finishers tonight. It's been an interesting night for just about everybody in terms of where they've been over the course of the race, bouncing back from wrecks, bouncing back from the caution, and just being able to see, like we said, a 1 and 2 finish where we got 2 of the most upstanding racers in the High Slide League getting a chance to battle it out. Well, the battle was quick, and Andrew Chapman looks like he took it right out of Jacob Denson's hands now, as he's 6 seconds ahead, going into 2 laps to go.
Oh, we're going into 1 here. White flag is in the air. Chapman at the line. Just bring it around. 2 more sets of corners, and you got this thing in the bag.
This is where Chariots of Fire starts playing, and his family's crying. You can see his wife in the audience, tears in her eyes. His son cheering for his... I have no idea. I'm just throwing things out there.
We found.
Just try to have some fun here with the end of the race.
Off into the weeds here.
Cut me some slack, will ya? Here goes the checkered flag, folks. It's over. With Andrew Chapman taking the flag. Jacob Denson a few seconds behind. Jason Miz after that. We'll do the full results here in a little bit.
Man, What a good win for Chapman. This one's been a long time coming. Multiple opportunities this season, and things just not working out for him. We're getting caught up in somebody else's, you know, misfortune. Finally gonna be able to bring it home, get this thing done.
Love it. Love to see it. Really great. He's got the new setup also. He gets to celebrate in that. And that's it's got to be a good feeling to get your equipment sorted out, to get your race on, and to to apply that strategy that you've applied so many times and finally see it pay off. Like you said, Sheldon, it's really nice to see.
He's going to burn it down for us here too.
Excellent. That Virginia Tech Toyota, perfect circles. Like a protractor, a compass, that's the one. Okay. We'll give you the results here, folks. I think it's about time to do that. I'll go over the grid of who finished and who didn't. We did 135 laps here, and at the end of that, in first place, Andrew Chapman. Second place, Jacob Denson. Third, Jason Miz. Fourth, Joseph Causey. Fifth, Levi McCarty. Sixth, Rob Evans. Seventh, Joshua Lucas. Eighth, Charlie Harcum. Ninth, Jordan Probst. And in 10th, our newcomer, Aaron Kay.
In 11th place, you have Jordan Berry, followed by 12th place, Derek Grigsby. 13th is going to be Scott Phelps, with Anthony McPherson rounding out your field in 14th.
Nice tight playoff crew with a nice tight playoff race, I gotta say. That was a fun one. And in a little bit here, we'll see who we can get in for our first interview. And it's going to be Jason Miz. Jason Miz, do you hear us?
Yes, I do. How's it going?
Hey, we're doing real good. And yourself tonight after that?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. A little frustrated with myself, but still came away with the top 3.
Yeah, what was it that frustrated you about tonight's race?
Not being able to do math right. I wasn't paying attention, and I pitted early, and I thought I was gonna have enough gas to make the stage, so I had to pit one extra time before the stage break. And then I was lucky enough to get the lucky dog. I was all happy, was talking, wasn't paying attention, never put my fuel to go all the way back up. So it only gave me 3.4 under the stage break caution, so I had to pit super early again.
Ooh, that is a tough break, but you did come away with the bronze tonight. It was a race with some interesting situations mixing up. We had a nice spread out field, but where would you did you feel that there was do you feel that there was something that you could have done besides the math that would have maybe given you a little more of the edge tonight?
I think Chapman was the fastest after, Causey was definitely one of the top 2 in the race. He got
definitely.
But honestly, the only thing I think, late caution, maybe I would have had a chance to Austin Dillon him or something, No, I'm just kidding.
Right there, yeah. If we were a little bit closer, maybe.
Yeah, no. Andrew, that dude's super fast. So I know if I'm not 100% on my game, I don't even stand a chance with him. So.
Well, he did drive a hell of a race tonight, and you did too, coming out in 3rd place after 135 laps. Congratulations. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout it out to tonight?
I got to thank all the sponsors in the league. You can't do it without them. You guys definitely. I watch every week, even when I'm racing. You guys do top-notch job, and that's not glazing. That's 100% fact. Thank Kazi for always pushing me to get better.
Well, thank you guys for
Jordan, and we got to give big shout out to Jordan Berry for everything he does for this league, because honestly, without him, we wouldn't even be racing.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you guys for putting on a race for us to call, and we will be seeing you racing very soon.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you much.
All right. Take care. Sheldon, I'm going to throw it to you to talk to our 2nd place finisher, Jacob Denson.
Oh, how's it going, Jacob? Good run tonight. Oh, no, not in here yet. Never mind.
He'll be here in a second. Sorry about that.
Come on, producer. What you doing? Oh, I didn't know I could move people.
Oh,
I didn't know I
I
had
didn't know I
that
could do
permission. Man, things you should have told us in our briefing there, boss.
He's
never
here
moved
now.
anybody. But either way, we'll talk about this later. GridVision is falling apart at the seams tonight, guys. You've seen it here first. Jacob Denson, man, good run tonight, good second place. You've been clicking off some good finishes here. Looking like you're getting a little bit of momentum going. Walk me through your race, man, because there was a really weird. The strategy felt so weird tonight. You know, half the field got caught a lap down. What happened with that?
I think it was the stage caution. I don't know if it's kind of weird how we got strung out, and because of the way there were so many cars a lap down, and I think I'm not 100% sure of the rule, and I don't want to criticize by any means, but I felt like it went one lap more than it should have, but I think they did it by procedure, if that makes any sense. But it put me in a position where I had to pit in a closed pit, but some other guys had to pit before that because we were so tight on fuel, and I was saving as much as I could and still couldn't get enough. But it actually kind of worked out because it only left 3 of us on the lead lap. I just had to start in the tail end of the longest line, but it kind of worked out.
Yeah, and you did such a great job driving through the field there at the end too to get back up there, you know, into the picture. When, with Chapman and everything. How do you feel about this? I mean, you're in a good spot in the points right now. Made some good points tonight. Looks like you're going to be fine if everything goes well next week at Daytona. How you plan on attacking for next week?
I'm going to be aggressive because I don't think I'm setting the points. I know I was right on the bubble before this race, and I know that's the cutoff race, so I gotta get as many points as I can. Tonight was a good points night. Stage points were good. Finishing second was really good, but I'm not going to back off to, next week. I want to get as much as I can.
Well, man, we are absolutely looking forward to seeing it. So who all do you want to thank for this beautiful second place performance tonight?
Definitely want to thank B&H Racing, B&HIT, Little Miami Brewing, Phelps Media Racing. And I definitely want to thank High Slide. You guys put on a good show, put on a good season. We've had fun. The B&H team has had fun in this league. You guys run a tight ship, and that's the kind of stuff we like to see.
Well, heck yeah, man. We appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing what you do next week at Daytona. Keep a rabbit's foot near you because I'm probably going to pick you.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. Bye.
Okay, I'll take it away and talk to our race winner, Andrew Chapman. Andrew, do you hear us?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Hey, we're doing real good. I bet you're doing pretty good tonight. How's it feel to get that victory?
Oh, finally, man. I'm disappointed it took this long, but glad I finally got it. That was a long time coming.
We were just talking a little bit about your strategy finally paying off tonight. And was there a moment where you thought, mathematically speaking, I've got this in the bag?
I started doing math for how far we can go on fuel and when I'd be pitting on the pace lap. So when we got that early caution, I knew we weren't going to make it to lap 60. We could only get 28 max, even with saving laps. So once we got that first caution, I was like, well, let's go top off here and see what happens. Maybe able to go green. And sure enough, it did. And I saw guys saving fuel to get to lap 60. I'm like, well, there's no way they're going to make it through the pace laps to get to pit road either. And sure enough, they didn't. So definitely feel like I stole one.
Well, I would say stolen is undercutting the strategy right a little bit too much there. We watched you drive not just a great strategy, but drive an amazing car tonight. Incredible speed out of that. And that there at the end, when we were coming down to about the last 20 laps or so, you were just, as you were closing the gap, what was your thought? Were you more focused on trying to close the gap or just driving that line?
Well, I knew I'd catch P1 Jacob the second run after my last pit stop. It was only a 5-second gap, and I had the tire advantage. It was a run before that I started getting worried about, because when I came out of pit road, I think I was 9 seconds behind, and it took me a little longer than I thought it would to catch him. So it was that run before the last pit stop that I was worried about. That last run, it was just smooth sailing.
Yeah, there was a couple times in there that the lead switched up due to pitting and with the fuel strategies, and you always managed to work your way back through speed and coming out on top. It was really an impressive race for you tonight. I just want to say congratulations on the win. Great job. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out to?
Just the guys that put on the league for Thursday night for us. I know the league is coming to an end soon, or the season is. Hopefully we have a a strong season next season. Look forward to that already with this one winding down.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for your time tonight, and then congratulations again on the victory.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Absolutely. Take care now. Okay. That's it for tonight here on GridVision. Sheldon, what's your takeaway at the end of the race here?
And sometimes, we sit up here and we scratch our heads on that fuel saving maneuver, for a lot of these guys. But man, Chapman played that absolutely perfect tonight. I don't think that he could have done anything better. Got real lucky with that, how that all fell out for him too at the same time. And sometimes it's better to be lucky. And on top of that, he had the pace, and I think it was just a great race from these guys too. A lot of good battles. Kansas puts on a great show. Seriously looking forward to seeing what these guys do next week at Daytona, because I can tell you one thing. You may have your breath right now. We ain't going to have it next week.
Oh, I am looking forward to that. Absolutely. Here's a little look at the rest of the week, where this is us on tonight at Kansas. But tomorrow, we have a little bit of Watkins Glen racing, the Ryco Performance Top Split from Watkins Glen. So be sure to tune in for that, folks. And then you just heard High Slide's going to Daytona next week. So it's going to be draft, and a matter of battlefield friendships and rivalries, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again to you for watching, folks. Thanks again to Austin Derbyshire up in the booth for producing tonight's race. And we look forward to coming to you live next week, live on GridVision. Take care and good night.